Who wants eyes that shine? In today's how-to, that's what the focus will be. Shiny, sparkly eyes, an even complexion, and 2 different lipstick looks to go with the eyes today. All right, everyone, let's go ahead and jump into this sparkling how-to. I curled my lashes, I have my Nars Climax Mascara on, I have my Tarte Brow on, and I did prep my skin already with my Chantecaille Rose Glow Face Tint. So let's go ahead and get started with the complexion. Grab the foundation that best suits your skin type. I'm going to use the Chanel #1. I'm combination dry. I am in my 40s. For those of you that don't know, perhaps you're watching for the first time, I am a professional makeup artist of 25 years. So all the tips that I'm going to go over with you guys today are not just based on what I like, but also what works on my clients. So I'm going to go ahead now and take a pump of the foundation, warm up the pigments on the back of my hand, and then I take my finger and I just place the product where I feel I need it the most. There's no need to put foundation all over the face and create a mask-like look. It's really just about evening out the complexion. Most of us just need it in the center of the face or the window, so around the inner corner of the eye, around the cheeks, the nose area, the outer edge of the mouth, chin. If you have acne or dark spots, you can hit those areas as well, but we're going to go in with a concealer to fine tune the complexion. So just go ahead and use your foundation to just kind of even everything out first. And a quick makeup artist tip, if you're in a hurry, you can actually take a pump of your foundation, warm it up in your hands, and you can just press it all over the skin. It creates more of an editorial look or a tinted moisturizer look, meaning that it's lighter in coverage. It gives a natural, soft, glowy look to the skin. I always like to go back in with a sponge and press it into the skin. Even if I do it with a brush, my fingers, or just with my palm, this to me helps to pick up any excess foundation that might just be sitting on the surface of the skin. Between foundation and concealer, I like to pause and see where I need a little more coverage. Usually foundation takes care of a lot of the heavy lifting when it comes to discoloration, hyperpigmentation, acne, and so forth. But every now and then you need a little extra help, and that's where our concealer comes in. You can go directly from the tube, or you can warm it up with your finger and you can place it just like I did the foundation. This technique creates a far more natural look than using a brush or a sponge, because you are lightly building up the color, especially around the eyes. If you're someone who likes to use a brush with your concealer, I recommend first placing it by tapping it on, and then you can go in and lightly buff it with tapping motions or very, very light circle motions. It's not my favorite technique because I find that once you start moving a brush around when it comes to cream products or fluid products, you start to get streaks on the skin and it can end up looking patchy down the road. So I definitely recommend doing the finger approach and then going in with a beauty blender and picking up any excess product. This also helps to push the product onto the skin so that it stays on a bit longer throughout the day. The complexion is where I want it. So let's go ahead and get into a quick blush bronzer kind of highlighter that I love to use and throw on some powder, and then we'll get to the eyes. So I'm gonna use my big Tom Ford brush as well as the Chantecaille Ray Sunbeam Eye and Cheek shade. I love this, it's my go-to. I've talked about this palette before and how it is the easiest way to quickly bring a look together. I will link the video down below where I go into it in more detail. So I have this product on the brush and I'm going to go in and tap it on the cheekbone through here. And I'm keeping it really up and around. We have a natural C shape that happens around our face from our occipital bone up to our forehead. So I'm working just around that edge here, leaving this part blank close to the eye so I can create a natural highlight. So as you can see, when I turn, we have the blush, but then we have the natural skin texture coming through. A little down the nose, a little on the chin. Some of you might be wondering, why am I popping the blush on? It's a form of placement. I'm laying it down first, getting my shape on, and then I'll blend it. And I blend it by just flicking upward at an angle, which will reinforce that lifted look. Louboutin face powder. This has been my go-to, and yes, it will be in my best of 2022 video, which will be up shortly. What I'm going to do is take the same brush, I wiped it off, and I'm going to grab a little bit of this powder, only lightly dusting it back and forth on the dome of the brush. I'm going to work up. Once I hit the center of the face, then I'll work down and under the eye. All right, let's get into some eyes. I'm going to start with the Lisa Eldridge Vega palette. And this is a really popular palette. In fact, it's sold out right now, and I can see why. First of all, it is really user-friendly, meaning that these colors here are so easy to use for a day-to-day look, and then you can kick it up and take it to a night look by just adding these two, whether that be building up dark to light, accenting out the edge, or just using it as your liner. Today, I'm going to use it as a smoky, sultry look, meaning I'm going to do dark colors and build up from dark, medium to light. It's one of the easiest ways to create a really nice eyeshadow look. It looks much more complex than it actually is. So let's go ahead and start first with a brush. I'm going to use the Sonia G brush in the Worker Pro. Dipping my brush into that gray color, tapping it off. I'm going to place this all over the lower lid as close to the lash line as possible and just press it on. These are really pigmented, so less is more, and I would rather have you continuously tap your brush in and work up slowly than have too much in the beginning. Otherwise, it might feel a bit too harsh. Now what I'm doing is whatever's left on my brush, I'm starting to move now into the pocket and onto the ridge of the brow. And it's basically just gradating the color upward. And the more you lift this color upward, the bigger the eye will become. From there, I'm going to grab this soft brown, kind of taupey brown color, a nice cool brown here, and I'm going to place this all over the lower lid to soften a bit of the intensity of the dark gray. Once I placed it all over the lower lid, now I'm pushing it into that socket. Whatever's left on my brush, I like to have a little bit more of a sultry look that moves outward this way. So I'm just taking this brush and angling it out a little more. That's just a V that I'm doing back and forth. If it gets to be too much, I'll take my finger and just lightly blend it. I'm going to grab my Tom Ford brush. This is in the number 13, and I'm going to dip that into this soft brown taupe color, and I'm going to go right onto that brow ridge. And I'm going to bring it in right underneath the brow at the front. And I'm going to work out and down. So I'm kind of at an angle here. Now, if your eyes turn downward, don't emphasize the down part. Keep it up and open and out. From there, I'm going to take my finger, this beautiful silvery color. It kind of looks like anthracite, which is like a gray, shimmery color. I'm going to press that all over that lower lid, depositing most of that color in the center and then working back and forth from inner corner all the way to the outer corner. I grabbed a little bit more and I'm placing that on the center once again. Taking the lighter color here, I'm going to place that right in the center. I'm just layering this up. Whatever's left on my finger, I will lightly tap onto that brow bone. Don't want it to be too much, so I'll take my brush, soften that up a bit. Taking my pinky now, same color, putting it on the inner corner. Take my domed brush once again and go out here. I always like to take a little bit of these shimmery colors and accent the ear. Now, it depends how dramatic you want to go. I like how clean and soft this looks. This will allow me to wear a bright red lip and it not look too much. But I'm going to accent just the edge of the eye, just for those of you that want to see what it looks like to have a little more definition. I'm going to mix these two together and just place that on the outer edge and bring it into the center just a bit. Now it feels a bit too intense for me, so I'm going to grab this brown and soften it up a bit. Feel free to use a liquid liner really close to the lash line if you want more definition. Feel free to go in with a black liner and wrap it all the way around. I would do it in the inner waterline to create some definition, not all the way around the top. Or you can leave it as is, which is what I'm doing, but I am gonna add a cream pencil, and I am gonna go over these with you guys. I have a whole set of new Victoria Beckham eyeliners. This one's so lovely. It's called the Instant Brightening Waterline Pencil, and I love it because it's not super bright white. Bright white is great for photo shoots, editorial work, when you really want to bring out the whites of the eyes, but for day-to-day wear, this is geared towards my client for an everyday look. And what you do is you just place it in that waterline. It helps to brighten the eyes. And here we are. I'm going to go ahead and finish this eye, and then we will finish with the lipstick. Both eyes done. Now let's go ahead and get into lipstick. Now I'm going to use a lighter lipstick first to show you guys how to create something that's a little more subdued, and then I will add that red, the Velvet Duchess, for those of you that want to go very festive and very glam. I'm going to start with the Sunday Matinee. This is just a really pretty petal pink color. Now I love wearing red and pink together because they're analogous, meaning that they sit close together on the color wheel. But sometimes when I wear a matte lipstick with this luster, I want to create luster on the lips as well. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my Chanel gloss, and this is an 806. It's a pretty pink color. I just want to add a couple little drops to the lips here, little swatches. Now you guys know that I like to use my products in several different ways, so I'm going to take this lipstick that we just put on the lips. This is the Sunday Matinee, and I'm popping a little bit on my cheeks just to bring the color story together. Alright, so first lipstick look. Let's go ahead now and go for that very vibrant, glamorous, festive red with Velvet Duchess. Wow, right? I mean, the color is like a deep, saturated blood red rose, and I am here for it. Now I'm curious, which one do you guys prefer? Do you like the lighter pink one with the eyes, or do you like something a little more bold? And I do want to add a little bit of that luster that I had with the Sunday Matinee, so I'm going to take the same gloss and put it right on top and do the same technique, just dabbing it on. Something to note, if you don't want to ruin the color integrity of your gloss, don't go directly with your applicator onto the lips. Work from the back of your hand. I like to do this, and then you can put it on with your finger or with a lip brush. All right, everyone, we've reached the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the content, and if you want to support the channel, the easiest way to do it is to go ahead and use the affiliate links below. I'll have everything I used today, as well as a list of online stores, whether you're here in the US or you are abroad, to shop for anything your heart desires. If you guys want a little more, you can head over to TikTok or to Instagram, where I do mini tutorials, as well as show you a sneak peek of my life as a makeup artist. And you can book me for a one-on-one service to learn anything that you feel you might be wanting to learn at this point in your makeup game. All right, everyone, as always, continue to take care of yourselves, continue to take care of each other, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye for now, everybody.